Hello, in the next episode. In today's video I'm going to repair Nintendo Switch Oled, which came in for the no power issue. But someone has tried, to install the mod chip called Instinct inside, and he failed. Can we fix it? We will see. So let's fix it! Today's video is sponsored by PCBWay. PCBWay is a company that offers PCB prototype and assembly services. Whether you are a hobbyist, a student or a professional, you can find the best solution for your PCB design and production needs. PCBWay has more than a decade of experience in the field of the PCB manufacturing and has over 20,000 active customers. They have a fast turnaround time, competitive pricing and high quality products. Another feature that makes PCBWay unique is their gift shop, where you can buy and sell hardware products, do-it-by-yourself electronics and kits. You can find a variety of electronics modules and boards for their genuine price, or you could use the PCBWay currency, which is called beans. You can also get some free gifts from PCBWay such as t-shirts, stickers, badges, etc. You will find the links in the description. PCBWay.com. You can find the link in the video description. And now let's get back to our Switch. Alright, so here is our hero. And as you can see, this Switch has got already Instinct installed, but there's no connection, nothing at all. Because my customer, he's tried to install the chip, but he failed. So he decided to remove all connections from the chip. There's no, jumper wires. As you can see, there's nothing here. Let me just zoom in. And he couldn't boot in original firmware. So he started looking for any shortage. And he found one here. As you can see, we've got missing IC. We've ordered a new one, but he decided to not going further because it's too hard for him. Alright, so what I'm going to do first, I'm going to take this motherboard out and check all caps around, because he said he found the shorts on the caps and that's why he removed that chip. So I'm going to check the caps and then I'm going to solder back missing IC, and then we will have a look at the board. We'll try to put it into original firmware. Alright, so we've got some screws. Alright, one more connector, the speaker connector, and the motherboard is out. Alright, so this is the new chip. Should be rebuilt, but it's not. So it was taken out from the faulty switch probably. But what I'm going to do, I've got just, another motherboard which was faulty. The APU was dead. So I'm going to take the chip from this, rebuild it, and I'm going to solder this back here. Alright, so let's go under the microscope. Let's take the multimeter. The beep modes. Alright, both probes ready. Could hear the beep. Alright, so let's measure the caps around. There's lots of flux residue on them, but it's okay, 30 ohms, it's okay. Let's check another cap. The same. Nothing. But other side. So this side is 92 ohms. We should see the same here. No. Alright, so I've got the faulty motherboard. I know that, the processor is shorted, but let me check here. Alright, so we've got even lower results, yeah. This is exactly the same. Let's check here. So this is a little bit lower. But as you can see, I think there's no short on this board. The results are okay. So I'm going just to take this out and I'm going to solder this chip in my customer's motherboard. 470 degrees. 100 airflow, and let's remove it. Beautiful. Alright, so let's apply some flux. The solder. (240 degrees). Okay, so let's apply some flux here on the pads. Plus is here in this corner, so it should be like this. 470 degrees, airflow 52. I think now it's sitting. Yes, perfect. Let's leave it until it cools down. So let's clean it now. Alright, so let's measure, the caps again. Let's see if something has changed. The beep mode. And it's still warm. That's why it's got the value like this. But this is normal. And this is also normal. Yeah, the board is still warm. So now we've got a chip back. We don't have a short anywhere. Let me check a few more cups. Let's check this one. Nothing. It's okay. It's okay. Alright, so everything seems to be normal. But what is wrong with this console? Maybe we should try to boot it up into the original firmware now. I can't see anything wrong on the motherboard. Let me check the other side of the board. Point B, caps around, the resistors around are good. So I'm checking, you know, the balls under the IC, which I already soldered. They look nice, but they are not connected together. Looks absolutely good. Alright, so let me check another thing. Because usually when I've got this kind of jobs, the worst is the OLED connector. And this connector looks okay. Usually we've got some, you know, bent pins inside and I have to replace that connector. This is one of the worst job because I don't like it. Can you see this yellowish tint on the board? This is because, you know, I bought some special anti-glare lamp and this helped me to see the picture a little bit better, but in warm tone. If I turn this off right now, so we've got the picture like this. In many cases, you know, the parts are so reflective that, you know, you can't really see the parts, the connections, etc. But if I use this light like this, because there are two, you've got this effect and I think it looks nicer. Much better. And if I turn the lamp, this is my Microscope ring lamp, I just turn this off, the lighting like this. I've got also the brand new 4K Microscope camera, so now you've got a picture in 4K resolution, which is really nice. But now I'm using the anti-glare lamp. The results are very nice, but you know, the shadow, you can see some shadows. So that's why I'm using both the ringlets like this and my anti-glare lamps. The link for these lamps and the 4K camera will be in my description, so you can have a look at it. It's quite nice. Alright, so the moment of truth, we just need to remove the CPU shield. What we can see here, white thermal paste, which is the cheapest possible tape on the market. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to quickly, you know, clean this. I need to check, you know, the CPU cable connections. My opinion, let's check this. Black probe on the ground, red probe here. It's good. 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 So the CPU tape is soldered very good. Let's check the... I think I can see the problem now. Alright, so the problem is here. This is our point D. Actually, the rest of this point. First thing what I need to do, I just need to boot it up in the original firmware. So, you know, if this trace is broken, we need to rebuild it. If not, the switch will be dead. And there will be nothing what I can do about this. Because this is the most common problem what people do if they do it by themselves. They scratch too hard. And they think that if they solder the point D here, everything is sorted. No. You can see the trace is going under the APU. That's what I need to do. I just need to scratch a little bit that trace. Very gentle, because this is our last chance to fix this switch. If I break the trace here, we are screwed. So I've done my best. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to measure. Let's go into diode mode. We are in the diode mode right now. Black probe on the ground, on the shield. And let's see here. And we've got 0.75. This line. We've got 0.586. What do we need to do? We just need to rebuild this trace by soldering a jumper wire. You need to be careful here, because as you can see, the ground is exposed. And we need to leave the wire long enough to solder it back to the chip after. Alright, so let's apply some flux. So now I will be preparing, you know, my jumper wire. Apply some flux here. Because this wire has got, you know, transparent coat, so we need to remove it. Now it's too long, I think. Alright, so it looks like it's soldered. But we need to check if this is soldered properly or no. Gently clean board from the flux. Alright, so now I'm going to take the probes, black probe on the ground, can be the shield. Let's check now. And you see, even if this point is connected together with the trace, it shows us different reading. Before it was 0.75. Now when it's connected, it's showing us 0.58. So that means this point is soldered properly. But I need to test it before I put the soldering mask on it. Alright, so how to test it without the screen? How can I know if this board is working or no? The first thing what you need to do is you just need to plug the battery. The battery has to be, charged enough to run the system. So I recommend you to fully charge the battery, and that's it. And now I'm going to plug my meter. And if I plug it and it will show that it's charging, it's okay. But after a few seconds, it should go off and come back on with the higher voltage. Look at this now. So now it's charging and now it should go off. And yes, so now the switch is booting up to the original firmware. And you can see that a little bit, we got some higher, more amps, but like I said, the battery is probably fully charged. So without the heatsink, the APU is a little bit hot, but from this point of view, I know that this switch is booting up to the original firmware right now. But let's confirm this. Hopefully the battery is fully charged. If not, we won't boot it up without the buttons, because I didn't connect, the buttons. Power button, volume. Let's see if we have any short. No. All right. And yes, you can see we got charging icon, and now it should boot up to the original firmware. And yes, on the camera it looks like it's some refresh rate is good. Let me check this, because normally I can't see that something is wrong with it. Alright, so we've got fully working console and the system version is 16.1.0. Okay, and now we can put back everything like the chip and see what will happen. So I'm disconnecting the power. Looks perfect. Looks absolutely perfect. Alright, so the APU, not even hot, is a little bit warm, and we've got a picture. Alright, so I'm going just to turn this off. Oh, I cannot because I didn't connect the buttons. So I'm going just to unplug the battery, unplug the screen. Alright, so let's go back to the microscope. Okay, so now we know that the job is done properly here. So we just need to secure this tape with the soldering mask. I think it's a little bit too much. Alright, 140 degrees, airflow 19, and UV light. My UV light is actually, the dentistic tool. This is to cure, the compound on your tooth. I was looking for very good UV light, but I couldn't find any on the market. And one day when I was at the dentist, I saw this and I said to myself, this has to be really strong light. The light is very, very strong. And this tool actually helps me, to work quicker. Normally it takes 2 minutes, maybe 3. The job is done. This device looks like this. The same like at your dentist, yeah? When you press the button, it gives us very strong light, which is perfect for me. Okay, so let's check if this connection is secured properly. As you can see, it's hard as stone. Because many times when you're using this very low quality, UV light, you can spend 30 minutes trying to do this and it's still not cured. But you need to keep in mind that you need to use also the hot air just to help it, cure it quicker. Alright, so this point is secured. So let's start from the eMMC. What we've got here. Alright, someone has used to high temperature, and as you can see here, our .0 adapter has got some problems. We don't have this point here. So we need to remove it and install the new adapter. This soldering job looks really nice, actually. I liked, that the CPU points you've done, because you probably are watching me. So what I can say, that this job looks nice. The same here, and the APU job the same. I don't know what you've done. You scratch it too much, the point D. But you know, thank God that I was able to fix it. And now I can carry on the job you started. My job is only to put everything back together and create a backup of the NAND memory. Because, you know, you don't probably know, but this problem is the common problem. Because, you know, these chips, they like to die unexpected, you know, and then you can lose everything. Without the backup, you won't do anything. So you just need to buy a new console. This backup is very, very important because the manufacturers doesn't provide option to back up whole NAND memory, so we need to do it in our way. This is the way what I'm doing right now. The same is with Xbox Series S or X. You know, the previous generation of Xbox, the firmware was in the separate NAND memory on the motherboard, and it was separated from the hard drive, yeah? But on Xbox Series S and X, everything, the firmware and your stuff is on the same chip. When the SSD drive is dead, there's nothing what you can do. You can't just replace it. You just need to buy the new console. This is the biggest problem. They want you to buy the new device instead of fixing yours. But you know, the Microsoft did very big mistake with these SSD drives. And here is similar. So when the chip is dead, there's nothing what you can do. Just buy a new console. Or if you've got backup, you can replace the chip, and using the mod chip I've installed, you can easily restore everything. So there is no problem at all. But without the backup, you won't do anything. You know, I'm not doing this for piracy, especially for the games. No. I'm doing this only in one purpose, just to help you to back up your NAND memory. But, you know, unfortunately, people, they use it on a different way. But not all people, just some of the people. So let's check now. Diode mode, what we've got here. And this looks good. Check one more time. And we've got the same result. That means everything is good. It should be good. You know, the reading is similar to point D. That's why I'm thinking it's okay. Alright, so I'm keep pressing, you know, towards me, because we need to make very good connection. Alright, I don't solder this point, even to make the stronger connection, because, you know, I don't need 3.3 volts from this point. I always got my favorite one from the two caps on the other side of the board. Alright, and you need to remember that this flexi adapter doesn't like temperature above 350 degrees. You need to use lower temperature, because otherwise you will end it up like my customer ended up by breaking, you know, the trace. Alright, so let's clean the area here. Just need to remove it one more time because I forgot to measure, you know, one more time. That's 0 point. Let's measure it one more time. And you've still got the same result, so it's good. So let's you know, put back the shield. Alright, so, and one more thing, it's the point B here. Let's apply some flux on the point B. Right, 3.3 volts, it's done. Now it's time for point A. Point A looks like my customer, you know, already soldered, because we've got some signs of solder. Okay. Was done perfectly. Clean this. And what we need more? We've got point C, we've got point D, we've got point A, we've got point B, we've got 3.3 volts. There's one missing connection. It's a ground. Ground, as you know, because we probably watched many of these videos, ground I'm taking from this point. And that's it, yes. So now we've got ground. Alright, so I'm going to give it a good clean. And after, I'm going to apply the fresh thermal paste, not the cheapest one, but, you know, I'm using MX4, which is one of the best for me. Never had a problem with them. Alright, the APU is a little bit, the core is a little bit scratched. It was not my fault. let's have a look at the shield. All right, let's clean the APU shield from this cheap paste. All right, should be right. I like when everything is nice, clean and shiny. So let's. All right. Chip pack. All right, so the chip is in his place right now. We just need to solder some wire on. So now point B. And remember, no more than 300 degrees because you will damage the parts. This is not, you know, the Xbox Series X motherboard, the PCB, which is very, very thick, heat resistant. This one is not heat resistant. All right, point B, soldered. First, we've got 3.3 volts, and it goes here. So this goes that zero wire. 3.3 goes here. This way. Goes here. You know, I'm going to put those two wires here between those two caps. All right, so I'm going to use a little bit the solder mask just to keep those two wires between the caps. This is just to look, you know, nicer. So this is our 3.3 volts. So the point C is soldered. So now we need to solder point D, which is here. Now point A. Point B we've got already soldered, but as you can see here, this is the new version of Instinct. We've got point B also here from the top, but I've already soldered the point B at the bottom. So, and one more thing, we need to solder the ground. So next step, we just need to clean the board from the flux. Okay, so next step, we just need to go to the diode mode and we need to test all the points before I put everything back together. So 3.3 volts. Yeah, so now the 3.3 volts is good. We've got 0.774, which is absolutely good. All right, point D. Yes. Point A. Yes. Point C. Yes. And point B, which is here. And there's no reading, but you know, sometimes it is what it is. It's not always the same. Sometimes we've got reading, sometimes not, but everything looks fine. So now I should put everything back together and we will see. All right, so before I plug the battery, I'm going to measure, you know, all values one more time, the points. And we've got point C, sorry, we've got 3.3 volts. Good. D, good. A, good. C, good. And B, nothing. And ground is ground. Alright, so now the moment of truth. And it's glitching. And it's glitching very, very nice. And ta-da! So I was able to fix this console and put everything back together. Now it is in working condition. Let's turn this off and let's press the power button one more time. And we've got the screen straight away. All right, so the job is done. All right, so the job has been done successfully. There's no issue at all. It works like it should be. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and see you next time.